Yeah.
Hi.
Hi guys. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good.
Fine, thank you. How are you?
You?
Fine.
Good. All right,
Amazing.
let's see if this is working.
Yeah. It's all right.
Brilliant. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you for being here. It's
Of
amazing
course.
to have you. It's a big
Exciting.
pleasure. Yeah. See
No, it's
you
my pleasure.
in real life in the video is amazing.
Yeah. That's good. Great.
Yeah. My name is Francesco, and I am
Francesco.
an editor. And so thank you again for being here.
Of course.
Hi, I am Davide, and I am a screenwriter.
Hey Davide, good to meet you.
And hello, my name is Massimiliano, Max, and I am a color grader.
Great. Hey Max. Good to meet you guys.
Yeah. We are so happy to have you here. It's a big important time for us because we feel so blessed because we saw you couples of days ago in a movie. Yeah. A really important movie.
Yeah. I believe
you
so.
know,
Yes, I
you
agree.
know it.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So it's amazing to have you here. It's I watched all of your interpretation of Kennedy. I'm so happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Great.
Congrats on Blonde. It's such an amazing movie. Congratulations on.
Thank you so much.
I saw today that it's still #1 here in Italy.
Yeah.
So
good.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's a big masterpiece. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh no.
3 hours of beautiful movie. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's begin with the question. It's all right.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. My first question, I want you to know about your path to become an actor. How do you started?
I mean, right from the beginning?
Yeah, right from the beginning.
Yeah. No, sure. Well, as a child, I was very drawn to the theater, and my grandmother, she wanted to be. My father is English, and my mother is Danish from Denmark. And my English grandmother, she wanted to be an actress herself, but that was impossible for her in her life. So she wrote little plays for her grandchildren, and I was the oldest grandchild, and so
Yeah.
And then she lived near Stratford in England, where Shakespeare comes from. So from I was about 4 years old, I would go and see Shakespeare plays with her every summer on the summer holiday. So very early, I was in love with the world of theater.
Yeah.
Actually, theater more than movies, theater to begin with, and then lots of amateur theater in school and everything. And then I did old-fashioned theater training at a drama school in Denmark, at one of the big theaters in Denmark. And I stayed there, and I began teaching movement for the drama school, and worked very much in the theater. And I found out that in order to move into television and film, I had to move to Copenhagen and try to look into other opportunities as well, because obviously the audience is so much wider and bigger when with movies and TV, of course. Yeah. Although, I mean, we've done a few theater tours as well where we've traveled all over the world with the theater as well. But obviously, with movies, there's an audience all over the world, of course.
It's amazing. Yeah, thank you, because we know you from movies. Yeah, so it's
yes, of course.
it's amazing. With the theater, you come to Italy with the tour.
I have not been to Italy, no, not with theater, but England and Australia. Chile,
Yeah.
Argentina,
Yeah.
Mexico, and so on. So we've been all over the
Amazing.
place. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
So it's my time. Sir, how did you prepare for the role of Kennedy? You know, and Jackie and Blonde.
Yeah. For Jackie, and the funny thing is, actually now I've been Kennedy 4 times. There's a movie which we shot this summer in South Africa, and there was also a TV series which was on History Channel, Project Blue Book.
Project Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which is very. I mean, that's kind of very imaginary.
Yeah.
But I think for Kennedy, it was kind of two tracks of research. One was reading as much as possible about him, reading books. I have a ton of books about Kennedy now. And then because the language of the Kennedy family is so specific, so I would listen to his speeches and just practice talking with his speeches, and try to understand. And he's a huge enigma, Kennedy, of course, because he has this very, very educated, very inspiring politicians, sort of very visionary, very. He was a history buff. He knew so much about history, and you can see. I mean, in the Cuba crisis, he was basically alone, saying no to bombing Cuba, because of his own experience of war and his knowledge of what the consequences are through history, on one side, and then on the other side, this man who was so interested in other women, and I mean, who was not faithful to his wife, and then also his I didn't know that he had so many health problems that he had. This was also something I found out when reading about him. So I mean, his back was operated on several times. He had a hormonal disease, Addison's disease, which meant that he had to have steroids. He had problems with his intestines, meaning he ate what's it called? Well, anyway, lots of medicine. So I mean, so there's so much we know, and there's so much more even as well. So a lot of research. I love doing a lot of research. When it's a historical person, it's always interesting to just know so much as possible. And then sometimes you find, I think, as an actor, you find something which inspires you specifically. He never wore his wedding ring. That's inspiring to me. Also in Jackie, why doesn't he wear his wedding ring? That's kind of weird. Also he was not very. He loved his father very much. He never spoke much with his mother as an adult. So there's all these sort of things that can, inspire what makes. Yeah, I mean, what makes you as an actor find, there's a door to something that can mean something in my work as well. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Well, speaking about Blonde, how was it to work with Mr. Dominik and Miss Armas? It's because this movie has blown up all around the world. So how was it to work it at the time?
Listen, when I read that script the first time, I thought, oh God, I'm never going to work in the US again.
I can't imagine, but it surely worked out.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, no, it's so inspiring. They're so professional. They're so great, and obviously Andrew is very, very visionary with the aesthetics of the movie and what he wanted to, the storyline to tell. All this, I mean, this whole nightmare of Norma Jean's Marilyn's life. He was very clear. There's a couple of scenes that we shot that are not in the movie, because I mean he found that we didn't need the rest as well. It had to be very, very cold at this time in the movie when the president is there, of course. And Anna, of course, was incredible. Although we were working hard. I think I spoke more with her at the premiere party than when we were actually shooting, because it was very, very intense. It was very, we were working hard to making it work. Yeah, but very, very inspiring, and obviously super professional.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you about if there were any deleted scenes about you, because we know that the story behind Norma and the president was also more this scene. Encapsulated perfectly the evolution of the character, both for the JFK but also for Marilyn. So yeah, you shot more scenes for.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Before this, and actually even in the book, which the film is based on, there's even more as well. And don't forget that obviously in this film it's the president, not someone with a name.
Yeah.
I think also because it's important to know that this is fiction, and this is a fictionary tale of her life. It's not a biography of him at all. It's, in that sense, I think we as the men of the film, we are sort of archetypes of the patriarchy that just ruled the world at the time, and obviously in a sense it's a feminist theme, a feminist movie, in the sense that it's kind of taking up the fight with the way things were, I think, and so for me, obviously, as well, also in the preparation, it's her story, so we can be quite free with the interpretation of the president, because we're telling the story of her. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about if you hear some of the reaction of the big audience about that movie, and what do you think about in these days? We see or listen the reaction of Mr. Dominik and Mrs. Oz, that are the author of the book and the movie, and what do you think, you?
Well, I have been very, very busy, actually, so I haven't really followed so much the reactions. I think, if I've understood it right, there's kind of, there are people who love the film, and there are people who really do not love the film.
Yeah, exactly.
And I honestly, I can understand both points of view. I think we've discussed it a little bit here at home as well, because obviously you can discuss, can you today, should a film like this be directed by a man? I don't know. I can understand why some people say no. I think this film could only be directed by Andrew Dominik at the same time. So I mean, exactly. So it's an interesting and important discussion, definitely.
Yeah.
I think the work that we have done, that Andrew and Anna have done, is incredible and it's beautiful, and so maybe someone else wants to do the other movie. Yeah. And I mean, it's Andrew has been working on this for more than 10 years, trying to make it happen. Yeah.
I think that for me it is a brilliant movie. It's amazing. Is about a lot of things that begin with the story of fictional of Norma Jean and become a universal, a criticizing of the industry and talking about the audience itself, because it's a movie about the audience and how we see the big stars. So it's amazing how this is meta cinema, is cinema in the cinema, and for me it is amazing. Your scene is the most important of the movie, even if it's not JFK but the president. And it's really smart and amazing.
Absolutely. I did see because it's always also been in the newspapers in Denmark. So there was somebody who wrote, in the US, I watched this film and then there was a rape in the first 20 minutes. This is part of the story. Absolutely. It's important. So I mean sometimes, I don't know, we also live in a time when people want to be protected from everything, and I mean, there was a culture of studio bosses just being able to do what they wanted with the young actresses, and obviously it's a critique of that. And how do you show it? Andrew, this movie chooses to show it brutally tough and humiliating, and it's awful to watch, but it's also important. I mean, we need even, I mean, as I was saying, in Shakespeare, people are killed and raped all the time. So I mean, tragedy shows us also about life.
And especially the movie never condones any violence, and it's really it's really hard. It empathizes with Norma, and it shows these abusers as clear villains, abusers of a story. So it's nothing. It's not something that shows it in a positive or kind of jokingly way, as we saw many times in the past. It's something really real, and it's shown perfectly, in my opinion.
I saw that the author of the original book, she said that this was a very feminist movie, which I think is great. It's a good point from her as well. And here we are, three men talking about that. Four men, sorry.
I think that now all the world talking about this. Newspaper.
Yes, all over
everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, the world lost the contact with the reality sometime, now the movie is only funny.
We need controversial movies as well.
You as acted in a Mission Impossible, and was a good experience.
Oh yes.
Work with Tom Cruise.
Absolutely. No, I mean, on the set for Mission Impossible, it's hundreds of people working. And Tom Cruise knows the name of everybody. He's incredible. He's on a call sheet for a film. The day's program. It says the characters, and the top character is number 1, and number 2, 3, 4, and whatever character number you have. so, and he's obviously #1 in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And I heard one of the producers saying he's the perfect #1, because as #1 you're the lead, and you have to make sure that, I mean, obviously you're doing your job, but he's also making sure that everyone's happy, that everyone feels okay. And I mean, it's just his way of being a leader. And that was very, very inspiring to see. Together with the director, Chris McQuarrie, obviously, the two of them, they've worked a lot together. Now, I think they've done 2 more Mission Impossible movies together, and they had also done the one previous. So the two of them together have created a fabulous work environment on those movies, where everyone knows what they're doing, everyone knows that what they do has value, and yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, really.
We are friends with the editor of Mission Impossible Fallout, Mr. Hamilton. I don't know if you know him, but
Eddie the editor.
Yeah. It's him. Yeah. We talk about Mission Impossible and Top Gun.
Yeah. That's
great guy.
I mean, incredible. Yeah, really. And he edits as on the fly. I mean, you do some work in the day, and he's been editing in the night, and the next day you already know, oh, we need a little bit more of this, or yeah.
I wanted to ask you, this is a funny question, because the first time I saw you, that it's now, I saw you a resemblance with the Mr. Kennedy. You really look like him. I don't know if it's a compliment or not. I hope
it's
yeah. Who is the first person who say you this to you?
That's a little bit funny, because we were doing, because I live in Denmark. This is where I have my family. This is where I used to do theater and everything. And in Denmark, the Kennedy family is not really, I don't know. It's obviously it's part of world history, but it's not someone that people think about all the time. And then I did a workshop for method acting at the film school in Copenhagen, and there was this old American method acting teacher. He's called Frank Cosaro, and he's passed away now. I mean, he was 94 or 5, I think, when he died. But so this is a few years ago, and he was one of the first teachers at the Actor Studio, and he's also directed a lot of opera in the US. And he had some American Italian kind of guy, and we were doing a scene on something completely different, and then suddenly he blurts out, "You have to do a Kennedy one day," and I never heard it before.
Never.
And he said, so he was the first one to say that's something that you should do, and I kind of went home and I looked up on YouTube, videos of the Kennedys talking, and I thought, well, when I was younger, I looked more like Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, well, maybe I should try and practice a little bit how they talk, because it's so special. Even for Americans, it's really difficult to talk like the Kennedys. So as an actor, you never know. You never know when there's suddenly some opportunity. So I started practicing a little bit how they talk, and just a little. So when the Jackie audition came, maybe, yeah. So, and the Jackie audition, we were touring, actually doing theater. So I was in Istanbul doing a theater play. It's the same show that we've been touring all over the place. The Tiger Lilies play Hamlet. So the Tiger Lilies is a band, and then we're some actors who play the Hamlet. And I was in the hotel, and I put up my phone on a shelf, and I did the self-tape for the production for Jackie. And I think I think because I practiced a little bit how he speaks, that was a good thing. And obviously, it turns out that I do look like them a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people have been saying, "Oh, is it a problem for you that you look so much like Kennedy?" And
Yeah.
no,
No.
not at all.
Yeah.
No, it's because I don't look like Kennedy in Mission Impossible. I don't look like Kennedy when I do other things. It's just for this, it's perfect, and he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
So we can do many more movies as Kennedy. That would be
Yeah.
fun.
I hope that
I hope
become
so.
a JFK universe where the only thing
Yes.
that have in common is you as Kennedy.
Yeah, we can take all the little bits from Jackie and
Yeah,
Blonde and all that,
yeah,
put it into
yeah,
a big
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Amazing. Please do it, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about your career in theater, in to be an actor in the theater. Tell me something about it, because like I said before, I unfortunately don't watch anything because I think that you never came in Italy with any of the tour. And yeah, tell me something about it. I'm so curious. I admit.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
so
yes,
curious.
of course. I trained at this theater in Denmark's city number 2. It's called Aarhus, and it has a huge, big old theater. And the theater school is there, and then I'm started at the theater, and have done a lot of incredible plays. This is the beauty of theater, but also the sad thing is that you do it and it's amazing, and then you finish and it's gone. So we did Clockwork Orange as a play, which was incredible. A lot of musical theater because I sing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then in Copenhagen also all sorts of different things. We did some Chekhov, the Seagull, and Shakespeare as well, and also musical theater, West Side Story, and yeah, great things like that. And a lot of that, and it's hard work. It's every evening, every night, and I have my children are adults now, but when they were small, I was always working at the theater, and it's kind of so for television you work in the day most of the time, and for theater you're working in the evenings, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so it's a lot of time away from home. So I try to vary the work as well, in order to be home a little bit more.
Yeah, you still do.
Also,
you still do the theater right now?
Well, a little bit. I've done my own show, my own one-man show, because in Corona everything was closed. So I started playing. There's an American satire songwriter, Tom Lehrer. He in the 50s and 60s. It's very, very dark humor. I Hold Your Hand in Mine, kind of a romantic song, but it turns out he's just got the hand and nothing else because he killed the girl. It's kind of sort of really black humor. Yeah. But I put that together on Facebook and sort of YouTube, a few films, a few of these songs, and then it turns out that maybe I had enough songs for the theater show, and then I did I did the show in Copenhagen, and then I was touring all over Denmark with it last year. So that was fun.
Last year,
a lot of fun.
Amazing.
Last year, at the piano.
I know that you are also a Monty Python fan.
And also Monty Python songs. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Sure.
I watch it
Yes.
too. It's amazing, so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
So some of that, but it's often with film, the horizon of from being cast to actually doing the work is very short.
Yeah.
And for theater in Denmark, it's much longer. So you get hired for a play next year or in 2 years' time.
Wow.
And it doesn't. It's hard. It's very difficult to combine with film work, in fact. And also international film work is very, very short notice. So it used to be a lot of theater. The last 5 or 6 years, or basically since Jackie, it's been a lot less. Yeah. But then
now,
more other stuff.
Yeah. Now you work more on cinema and television.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yes.
Even in Copenhagen. Yeah.
Yes.
Television in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we've been doing a TV series this summer as well. Which is season 4 of a show that I've been in. I think it's only shown in Denmark, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe
and actually, I've done a lot of dubbing for cartoons. I guess it's done in Italy a lot as well.
Yeah, a lot.
Absolutely.
So in Denmark, we only dub children's shows. We have for adult film, for film. I mean, not adult movies. That's different. but movies for adult people. We have subtitles. Subtitles. Yeah. So only film for children or cartoons we dub. We have the dubbing. So I do a lot of cartoons.
What you have dubbed? For example,
I used to do the voice of Johnny Depp. For Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And the Alice in Wonderland, the Disney Alice in Wonderland. And there's an amazing film where it's kind of a Western parody called Rango.
Rango.
Yes.
And
it's
amazing.
Amazing.
It's great.
Yes.
And Johnny Depp is the chameleon, sort of the lead of that. Exactly.
Amazing.
But a lot of different things. Prince Charming in Shrek. So it's fun.
Amazing.
That's a great job, of course, because you can do it whenever I have time. We go to the studio and do the thing. So that's perfect.
What role would you like to play in the future?
I would really like to do the true biopic of Kennedy. I think that would be amazing, of course. Or maybe even a film about the Cuba crisis, or a film about the relationship between him and Marilyn properly. No, I mean, there are so many stories. There are so many stories to be told about him. But I mean, in a theater context, Richard III is always a dream part. I guess House of Cards is based on Richard III, basically the Shakespeare. But it's kind of, I don't know. It's if you sort of focus on things you want to do, sometimes you don't realize the gifts that you get that turn out to be amazing. We did a film in Croatia a year and a half ago where I was President Tito, or Marshal Tito, which was amazing. I mean, just incredibly interesting. At a time at the end of World War II, when he was the leader of the partisans, he was he's sort of my age now, early 50s, and he was obviously in the Balkans. He was the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, the communist partisans
Yeah.
were the winners, and he wanted the Catholic Church of Croatia to become part of the Yugoslav leader. I mean, he wanted to control the church, and the Catholic Church said, no, we can't. I mean, obviously, we our leaders is the Pope and the Vatican, as it is with the Catholic Church. So there was this actual historical conversation between the Pope, the bishop of the Croatian Church, the leader, and the Archbishop, and then Tito as well. It's incredibly interesting, also because in World War II, Croatia was led by a fascist government, the Ustasha, and the Catholic Church was kind of, I don't think they sympathized with them, but they worked with them.
Yeah.
And obviously this is also something that one needs to learn from historically, and so on. And so sometimes a job comes in that turns out to be a dream job, and you didn't even know. Yeah.
Well, speaking about dream jobs, you were talking about the. I'm sorry, you were talking about the possibility of JFK movie, a biopic or something like that.
Yes.
Who would you like to see direct this movie if it were to happen? who's your top 10 pick for?
Oh no, I can't say. I mean, there's that. That could be. I mean, well, I don't know. It would have to be someone with a proper sensibility for this kind of thing, I think. Obviously, yeah. Oh. No, I don't. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to jinx. I don't want to jinx the project.
Yeah.
Well, we hope to see it someday, because absolutely,
it would be great. It would be wonderful. Because there's so much to be said. There really is. Sometimes I think it, and also maybe one has to do it in Europe, because there's, although I mean, Blonde of course is made in the US, and it's kind of critical. But there is sort of there's a little bit. Hollywood doesn't want to upset the family, of course. But I don't think one needs to upset them. There's enough to be told still. Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Philipson, thank you so much for this.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing time. Yeah. You were amazing. You shared so much. Thank you, really.
I want to say one last thing before we go. I'm so happy to meet you, because you live in Copenhagen and you are from Copenhagen, and we know a director that live in Copenhagen, Mr. Lars von Trier.
Yes. I haven't worked with him.
Yeah,
I haven't worked with him.
We know, but we are big fan. We know he's director of photography. You know, so you like his movie. He's
yes.
We know that.
You know he's a director of photography, Manuel.
Yeah.
Really? His director of photography is Manuel. Yes. Yeah. I spoke with him last night. Manuel.
Really?
He's a great. Yes. He's a great guy. Great guy. Yes. Yeah. Manuel Alberto Claro.
Claro.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I chat with him with Facebook, I think 3 weeks ago, because he directed his TV series Exodus.
Yes.
Is the director of photography. So I talked with him
Of
before
course.
Venice. Yeah.
No, he works on all Lars
Amazing.
von Trier's projects.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I did a small part in a movie that he was director of photography for as well. A Taste of Hunger, I think it's called in English.
Mm.
Yeah. No, he's incredible. And he liked blonde as well.
Yeah.
We talked
Amazing.
We have in common a lot of things. Yeah. I say this to him because when I say congratulations for Venice, we talk about his last project, and I say we have to do a conversation, an interview like this, and so we
yes,
we have to do.
Yes, you must.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wonderful.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Well,
Great, guys.
Again, thank you so much, and congratulations on
much.
Blonde again.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. All right.
Bye.
Say-
Bye-bye.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.